Joel Embiid, no bueno. Maybe back in the lineup for the Sixers, but that doesn't mean he's 100%. Lisa Salters reported during Sunday's broadcast of Philly's loss to the Bucks that Embiid said he would most likely need surgery and a long recovery to completely heal from this problematic knee. He also admitted he didn't have enough time after undergoing surgery last season. All right, Windy back here with us as well. Stephen A., it has been a myriad of injuries, obviously, for Joel Embiid. Do you feel like the Sixers wasted peak Embiid?
No, they did not. Ben Simmons wasted peak Embiid. Let's be very, very clear. I'm pointing fingers. He was recently released, bought out by the Brooklyn Nets. Is he with the Clippers yet, Wendy? I know he's supposed to be going. Is he there yet?
It'll be happening very soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me say this. It's a miracle, only in America, that this man still has a job in the NBA is shocking to me. Because what this kid was capable of, you got a 6'10 dude, can handle the rock, can pass, can lead a break, was an elite defender. The fall off from him, totally mental more so than anything else, is beyond shocking. And that was the time to maximize anything that Embiid was going to give to you. I'm of the mindset right now, Wendy and Shannon, that I don't know if Embiid will ever be healthy. To hear about yet another surgery that he believes should come down the pike, I'm like, my God, all of the money they've committed to about $300 million. You got to think about that. You have to think about all the technology that exists, all the money that's poured into these franchises, and somehow, some way, you can't get this guy healthy to save your life. It just doesn't make sense to me. The process is dead. It's over. We know when they were throwing games on purpose so they could accumulate all of these picks to ultimately build the championship franchise. Before it was Ben Simmons. Now it's Joel Embiid. But it is what it is. I look at the 76ers, and I don't view them, per se, as wasting it, because what can you do? I view if Ben Simmons was what he was supposed to be, who knows? The Sixers might have had a title by now.
No. Peak Embiid wasted peak Embiid.
Ooh.
Because he never took his diet and nutrition seriously, Stephen A. He limped into the NBA. Why did he fall to the peak that he fell to, Stephen A? He had a bad back. And instead of losing weight and trimming down to take pressure off that back, take pressure off those knees, take pressure off those ankles, what did he do? He thought it was cute to be sitting on the table eating McDonald's, eating fast food. It was funny. I can eat this here and bust everybody you know what. But in the end, it came back. The process, all this is a process of elimination. It is over for the Sixers. They tried Paul George, and unless something turns around, he hasn't looked like the Paul George at Indy. He hasn't looked like the Paul George at the Clippers, and he damn sure didn't look like the Paul George when he finished like third or fourth in the MVP when he was at OKC. Tyrese Maxey currently is their best player. Joel Embiid, you can't count on him, Stephen A. You can't. When has he been healthy for the entirety of a playoff? He limps into the playoff. He limps out of the playoffs. Instead, what he should have done, instead of playing for the U.S. team, and I'm glad he got a gold medal, he should have sat his butt down, because your loyalty and your allegiance is to the Philadelphia 76ers that dumped a boatload of money into your bank account. And what did they get for it? You missed the season because you had surgery. Now you hopping around. You out there on one leg walking like a pirate. No, the Sixers, this ain't no Ben Simmons. This is Joel Embiid, wasted peak Joel Embiid.
I'm not sure that we won't see peak Embiid again. And in fact, I'm not sure about anything with Embiid, and that's the problem. I think, look, you're right, Stephen A. They have a $300 million investment in him, which they increased by $190 million with an extension that they gave him in September. He had 2 years on his contract. There was really no super pressure to give him the 3 years. They did, and knew his knee was in the condition it was when they gave him the extension. And so it's not as simple as he needs surgery or doesn't. You can trust that they are seeking opinions from the top knee people across the planet, trying to figure out how to get him right, and there isn't a clear answer. It's not as simple as do this and it'll result in this. It's not as simple as if he didn't play in the Olympics, he would be okay. When he left France, he wasn't injured. When they gave him the contract, he wasn't injured. When he showed up for training camp, his knee was bothering him. It's just complicated. Now, Daryl Morey, their team president, just on Friday, a couple of days ago, reiterated they still think he can be a top 5 player, and they don't regret that extension. They don't regret the Paul George contract. Now, that can be lip service or whatever.
Lip service.
But I think they're going to stay in this, and I think that they're hoping that Embiid can get back to peak form. And a lot of what's happened in the playoffs has been sheer misfortune. He's had 3 different facial fractures. He had the Bell's palsy incident. He's had a couple of times where he's just had very unusual falls. Some of this is just plain old bad luck.
Oh, Shannon, let me throw this by you, all right? Because I get where you're coming from. He missed the first 2 years of his career, getting drafted out of Kansas, falling to number 3 because of that foot injury, and then the knees and everything followed. Let me tell you the injury issues over Joel Embiid's career. Let me just read this to you. Sinus fracture, foot, knee, health protocols, back, hand, face, ankle, shoulder, calf, hip, elbow, ribs. Okay, I mean, I don't know a part of the body that's been missed when it comes to his anatomy and the injuries that he has incurred. He's one of those dudes, man. I mean, this brother, as phenomenal as he is as a player, he might get injured walking into the bathroom, bro. It's inexplicable. I don't know how to explain it. You bring up the eating habits and stuff like that. I don't know the details of all of that, Shannon. I will tell you that it doesn't matter how big he's looked or how small he's looked. This brother, injuries find him every single year. Wendy will tell you that. Every year. Never escapes. Ever.
Wendy, let me tell you something about injuries. Injured young people become injured old people. Now, what have you seen throughout his career that makes you certain that who's to say that he can't? And he can be dominant for stretches. When have we seen him outside of that 1 year he won the MVP that he's been dominant and he's played an entire season in his NBA career? And you're willing to bank? I'm not willing to bank anything on it because what I can only go by what I've witnessed. And what I've witnessed is Joel Embiid missed far more time, damn near as much time. He's probably played 3-4 more games than what he's missed. That's not how it works. Injured young people become injured old people. He's getting older now. And so now the injuries and what happens when you get injured as a young person, the ability to bounce back happens quicker. As you get older, those injuries that you can bounce back from in a day or 2 or a week, now all of a sudden it's 2 weeks. Now all of a sudden it's a month. Now all of a sudden it's 2 months. Uh-oh, Joel Embiid gone for the year. Joel Embiid is wasted his time. I'm not putting that on Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons did enough for his own career. He did that.
I'm just talking about the opportunity, Shannon. If Ben Simmons, if that doesn't happen to Ben Simmons, Philadelphia got a shot to win the championship. Y'all understand that, right?
What about those games that Joel Embiid was missing when Ben Simmons was there?
I'm talking about the games when, listen, I covered the Atlanta when Atlanta took them out in Game 7 and got to the Eastern Conference Finals. That was supposed to be Philly. That was supposed to be Philly that went up against Giannis in Milwaukee. That's when Ben Simmons was scared to shoot a damn layup. Say what?
How did Joel Embiid look at that series? I don't care. If I got a 3-1 lead and Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid is my teammate, Joel Embiid should have closed that deal. Damn what Ben Simmons didn't do. Tell me what Joel Embiid did do.
He played pretty damn well, and not the entire. Listen, I remember him playing pretty damn well that series. Now, again, you could talk about what he could have done more. I'm just saying, Shannon, that was a special circumstance. Wendy, if you disagree with me, feel free to let him know. I'm telling you, it was a special circumstance. Yeah. When you got a cat scared to shoot the damn ball, Shannon, it was a special case.
Wendy, when have Ben Simmons not been afraid to shoot the ball? This is who he is. And I've seen him in the gym by himself. I've seen him in runs, and he letting it fly. He looking good.
He was an All-NBA player, Shannon. He was All-NBA. He was All-NBA at one point.
You're both right. You're both right. Stephen A. is right. Ben Simmons' injury or whatever, he had back injury too, in addition to his other issues, short-circuited the prime of that team. And Shannon is right. It could have been a terrible, terrible decision to give him this contract, knowing what his injury history was. knowing the condition of his knee, they give him. He had 2 years on his contract. There was not an relenting pressure to give it to him. But Shannon has a good point. If you're injured throughout your career, being under contract for 5 years may not have been the best decision. I think both of you are making compelling points. My point is, this injury, this what he's dealing with right now, it's not a black and white issue. It's shades of gray, and that's made it frustrating for everybody.
But that's
Sixers
a big
have been
man
slaves.
on bum. Stephen A. Wendy, that's a large man on bum knees.
Yeah,
How does he? If you weigh 300 pounds, the first thing I got friends that need knee replacement, and the doctor say you got to lose weight, son. So I'm just trying to figure out. This man is 7 foot tall, over 7 foot tall. He weighs over 300 pounds. How is that knee going to get healthy?
Yeah.
It's not.
All right.